When I'm on the different social media groups, I keep seeing the same questions pop up, especially from North American people. 3 different questions, but all of which are linked. They are, how do I find a decent agent in France? Or, who does the agent actually work for? And finally, who pays the agency fees? 3 completely fair questions, but they also show that there's a lack of understanding of the French system. Also, if you've been watching different videos about buying property in France, you will often come across a lot of English-speaking presenters or their guests describing themselves as estate agents or former estate agent here in France. But legally speaking, it is rarely the case. So I thought it would be useful to take some time and explain how it actually works in France. Who is who pays what, and what people really mean when they call themselves estate agents. So let's start at the top of the ladder. This is Pierre. He is an estate agent, what the French call an agent immobilier.
Good day. We understand the importance of this decision. Trust us to handle everything with the utmost care.
Pierre grew up in the real estate business thanks to his parents. He could have got his own license earlier if he'd stayed on longer at school and got a degree in law. He decided to start working earlier in his parents' agency. He then got his own license after working with them for 10 years. Anyone claiming to be a fully licensed estate agent should be able to show you their license, which looks something like this. Then there is Anna. She is a negotiator or negotiatrice working in Pierre's agency.
Hello, I'm Anna. We are here to help you find the perfect home with confidence and ease.
She has great local knowledge, speaks reasonable English, but only covers a limited geographical area. She has a basic salary and does get a small bonus each time she sells a house, but nothing to write home about. Then there are Jack and Francoise. They are both commercial agents, they are both self-employed, and they're both working under a contract with Pierre, the estate agent. If they sell a property, they earn money. If they don't, well, they don't. Francoise used to work as a clerk for the local French notary, but got bored of being in an office all day and wanted a change of pace.
We must ensure all the necessary surveys are completed before the transfer of ownership.
She knows French real estate law quite well and speaks some English. Jack, on the other hand, he has spent 2 years renovating his house while coming back and forwards from the UK. He finally moved to France 2 weeks ago.
We handled the compromis de vente ourselves, easy peasy. It's all about confidence, really.
He speaks fluent English and his French is limited, but he can manage to order a beer in French. He can also help you renovate your house if you want him to, but only on the weekends. Then after that, you have the national networks, what the French call réseau des mandataires. Jean-Paul and Corinne are mandataires, which legally speaking are the same as the commercial agents, but they work for a big chain of agents with a recruitment-orientated MLM structure. They have to pay a monthly fee for their advertising package and their right to sell houses. Corinne used to run her own agency, but she got fed up with all the pen pushing and office hours. She wanted to get back outdoors doing what she loves, selling houses.
As an independent agent, my focus is solely on finding the perfect match between a property and its owner.
She knows the job and the laws, speaks enough English to get by, and is doing great business. Jean-Paul, he was a pig farmer until he went bust 3 months ago. He's always liked looking at houses, and his best mate told him he should do this as a job, as he's a friendly guy and it's easy money. He knows some basic English expressions.
I am happy you are here. My English is very bad, but I try my best for explain the farm.
Then after that, you have the buyer's agents. And yes, they do exist in France.
Harrison here. They say style is a way of life. And in this city, I couldn't agree more.
He fell in love with France watching Emily in Paris, and even learnt French before he moved to Paris 2 years ago. He wasn't impressed by the lack of buyer's agents in France, nor the service he got from the actual French agents. So he decided to set up in business to help other foreigners settle in Paris. What the French call chasseur immobilier, or quite simply a buyer's agent. He doesn't actually list any properties. He acts on your behalf, ringing around the different agents he knows. After all, there is no MLS here in France. Well, not one that is worth talking of anyhow. He also charges on top of what the seller's agent charges. So there is an additional cost to the buyer. The thing is, Harrison doesn't realise that to be a buyer's agent here in France, you still need a licence the same as a normal estate agent, or at least work for someone that has one. That's not an issue when everything goes well, but the day it doesn't, there are no legal guarantees and no insurance cover. There are not that many dedicated buyer's agents here in France, the majority of which are fully licensed and above board. But unfortunately, there's also a number which is large enough to mention of unlicensed property finders. So it is always worth checking their registration details. In France, only European nationals can have a full license as an estate agent. So the chances of meeting an English language expat who is fully licensed as a buyer's agent or an estate agent are few and far between. Unless, like me, they were licensed before Brexit or have taken French nationality. Most of the native English speakers you meet in the business here will quite simply call themselves estate agents, even though they are no doubt one of the other statuses. Most do it completely unintentionally, but others do it in order to set a false sense of security or status with you. Now, apart from the buyer's agent, who by definition works for the buyers, people often ask, who do the others work for? Well, on paper you could argue that all the other agents officially work for the sellers, as the marketing contracts are signed by them. But elsewhere in French law, because France loves having contradictory laws, it is clearly stated that we are all business intermediaries and have to protect the rights of both parties. And more so, there's one practical reality agents never forget. Without buyers, there are no sales. And without sales, nobody gets paid. Add to that another common French expression, which lots of businesses hold dearly, is il faut des années pour se faire une réputation et 5 minutes pour le détruire. Which basically means it takes years to build up a good reputation, but only 5 minutes to destroy one. So these days, although the agency's reputation is important for you to follow, for you as a buyer, it is the person you are directly dealing with that counts. As you can see from my little summary, which isn't completely mad, you meet all sorts of people with all sorts of experiences in this business. The agent licenses are renewed every 3 years, and thus so are what we call the attestations, which are the sub-licenses for the different salespeople working for that agent. Any person working in real estate has an obligation of continuous training with a minimal number of hours to do every year. Otherwise, they can't renew their licenses. So if ever you're in doubt of the legal status of any agent you meet, however he or she calls themselves, just ask to see their attestation and make sure it is less than 3 years old. And don't forget that anyone well below retirement age that calls themselves a former estate agent probably wasn't very good at their job in the first place. And let's finish on a little quirk of French law. Did you know that if a private individual pretends to be an estate agent, advertising and handling sales for other people, that is an illegal practice of a regulated profession, and it is punishable by up to 6 months in prison and a fine of €7,500. But if a real estate professional pretends to be a private seller in order to hide their status, not that I can see any real reason why they want to do that, then that is classed as deliberate fraud. That carries penalties of up to 2 years in prison and a fine of €75,000. So ironically, in France, it is legally worse for a professional to pretend not to be one than someone pretending to be a professional. So there you have it, my roundup of the different people you can meet when looking to buy a property in France. I hope you found it helpful, and if so, don't forget to give it a like, and why not subscribe and hit the bell button to be notified when I release a new video talking about all aspects of French real estate. And if you're really motivated, you can even flash the QR code up there to buy me a coffee. I'm Dan Newton, the French estate agent. À bientôt.